Good, Logan? Yep. You can hear us in the back. Errol, all good? All right, we'll go ahead and get started. We are beyond excited to welcome Brooks Koepka to the interview room here at the Farmers Insurance Open. Brooks, we're excited to have you. I'm going to go right ahead into questions, so if you have a question, please raise your hand. I'm going to get a mic to you. Doug, we're going to start with Doug Ferguson.
Brooks, along with trying to figure out who half this field is, since you probably don't know them, this being your first tour event since 22, does it feel like you're just resuming, or does it feel different? And if it feels different, how is it different?
I think it feels a little bit different. I'm definitely a little bit more nervous this week. Just coming back, but it feels good. I'm super grateful to be back. Yeah, there's a lot of guys I don't know. Over the past, I guess, 3.5 years, there's a lot of new faces, but excited to meet those guys and feel like I'm part of the tour.
We're going to go right up here to Dan Rappaport.
What did you miss most about playing on the PGA Tour?
That's a good question. I think the ability to have my family out all the time. I think that was one thing, because they didn't travel too much over the last few years. But like, they're going to be out this week, so I'm super excited to be able to have them out.
All right, we're going to go back here to Dylan. Dylan DeChair.
Yeah, Brooks, what were some of the most important factors that went into making this decision to come back?
Just my family. A lot's gone on over the past 5-6 months with my family, and that played a big role in it coming back. And then just having conversations with my wife, my team, and being able to make that decision to come back was I guess it was tough conversations, but it was what was best for me and best for my family. And I think that was a decision that my wife, myself, everybody, my team, thought that was best as well.
You get the sense that PGA Tour will give you a little bit more flexibility in terms of scheduling and travel and having your family on the road?
Yeah, they'll definitely be out quite a bit more. Yeah, like I said, my wife's coming this week, my son's coming this week, and they're going to come next week as well. So that'll be super exciting to have them out, and just having my family around is really important. I've grown up a lot over the last few years, and especially the last few months. Just being able to be close to them is super important to me.
Okay, Rex Hoggard up in the middle.
Brooks, you mentioned the circumstances have changed about the last year. I know this is hindsight, but if you could go back to 2022, would you do anything different?
I don't regret anything I do. I've learned a lot, and I've always enjoyed the ride no matter where I'm at. And I think that's one thing that's you always learn from anything you're doing. So I have no regrets, but at the same time, I'm excited for this new chapter. Grateful to be out here. For Brian Rolap, Jay, Tiger, everybody that was able to get me out here. I'm super grateful for it, and I'm excited.
All right, we're going to go over here on the left.
Can you talk about, obviously, returning to a course that's iconic like Torrey Pines, the challenge that it presents, because obviously it's a challenging course here in San Diego?
Yeah, it's the last time we were back I was back was when did we have the Open? 22? 21. So yeah, I've spent a lot of time. I used to have a trainer out here, so I used to come out here, spend a lot of time in La Jolla, and it's nice to be back. It's obviously a tough golf course. It's fun to play, but it'll really give me an idea where my game's at.
All right, we're going to go to Brody Miller on the right. Brody?
You've touched on it, I believe, there, but could you walk us through it all, kind of the timeline of when you started maybe thinking about making a return and what that process even looks like of how you get to this point?
Yeah, I would say, I'm not going to get into too much detail about the family issues that we've had, but yeah, I believe it was September, right around the Ryder Cup week. We were actually we had to be in New York. We were up there for a little bit, and circumstances kind of changed in my family a little bit. And then that's when, I guess, things started to change and evolve and just start to have those conversations of what's best for my family. And so we took it from there. And then, you know, I was, me and LIV, we left that agreement. Everybody was happy with it, and they understood the situation that I was in. And just excited to be out here. So I made that, I think, the 23rd I was released, and then called Tiger right away. And then that process got the ball rolling.
Obviously, you'd have to play your way into signatures and things like that this year. I'm curious, like, mentally how you approach this year kind of differently. That is a bit more of a, you have to grind to kind of make your way into things and maybe not necessarily playing the big.
That's the fun part. I think I love the grind. I've always enjoyed it. I guess it's a fresh start for me, which is cool. It's just another chapter, I guess, in my book, and I'm excited for that. I feel like my game's in pretty good shape, but I want to see where it's at. Obviously, this week is a little bit different. But yeah, I would just like to get this week over and just feel like I can start playing golf again. But I'm super excited.
We're going to stay right over here behind Brody.
So on a different note, for gear dorks like myself, you're a bit of a legend with the Nike still in the bag, the M2 still in the bag. My question to you is, with a lot of stuff that has come out recently that's really, really good, have you tested anything recently that could have a chance to fight that stuff out of the bag?
No, I haven't really tested anything. I'm not a tinkerer. If something works, and I don't really switch up. I like everything that I've got in the bag. I feel like I have a good understanding of the control, where the misses are, and so yeah, I haven't really tinkered with anything, man. I like my bag set up right now.
All right, we're going to the left, Lisa.
Have you been able to set some goals for the season, and what would a successful season look like for you?
Yeah, I think obviously winning. I think that would be nice. But yeah, kind of touching on that question earlier, I got to play well. You play good golf, everything takes care of itself. I'd like to try to get in those signature events and play well, but I understand I got to earn that, and I'm looking forward to that challenge. It'll be something where it'll be a little different spot, and I've got to work my tail off, and I'm excited about that. So we'll see what happens, but I would love to come out and get a win.
Over here to the right with Bob, and then Todd. Bob?
Brooks, last year at the U.S. Open, you said that you were tough to be around for a while with after given some of your struggles. I'm just curious, did your year on the course, the struggles on the course, have anything to do with this decision at all?
No, not at all. I was going through a lot of things. I didn't talk about it, but yeah, it was definitely more of a difficult family situation with what was going on. There was a lot of things going on, and sometimes that can, I guess, relate to play a little bit. I don't know if that's what it was. I don't know. I don't really have an answer for that. But I know sometimes when your mind's free, I think you look at Scotty right now. When your mind's free, sometimes it's easier to go play golf and play your best.
Were there any, to get out of your contract, were there any financial or other things that you had to do to sew that up, so to speak?
No, I'm super grateful for Yasser and Scott and the way they handled things, but I'd like to keep that all internal. But they were great to deal with, and I'm just happy and fortunate enough to be out here now.
Todd?
Brooks, a couple for you. Do you think the PGA Tour is better now as a tour than it was when you left to go to LIV?
I'm 2 days in, so I don't really know.
From what you've observed?
Yeah, I think I could probably, maybe I can answer that question a little better, because I feel like there's a lot of things that I'm still trying to figure out how things work. It's kind of like a readjustment period. But yeah, if you ask that question maybe later on in the year, I might be able to give you a better answer.
And to touch on just the newness of it all again, when you say that you're nervous more than usual, maybe, where do the nerves come from coming into this week in terms of just seeing people again or how you're going to play? How are you feeling about things?
Yeah, I think the nervousness probably was more for this, to get this out of the way. To be quite fair, I think I'm excited just to get, maybe a little bit antsy to get to Thursday, just so I can get back to playing golf, and that's where I feel the most comfortable. But I was definitely nervous just for this, seeing guys. I was kind of overwhelmed at the text messages that I received from guys on both sides, and I think it meant a lot to me. And like I said, I'm grateful and I'm excited, and I just want to get back to playing golf.
How many guys yesterday do you feel like you had a conversation with, more than just hello? Was it a lot?
I don't know. There's maybe 10 to 15 guys that came up and said something. A lot of caddies. It's tough to kind of put a number on it. But yeah, it was a lot of, hey, good to see you, glad you're back. Yeah, I would say, maybe 15 guys. And then there's 15 caddies, 20 caddies, just random people, just people from the tour. But yeah, that number jumps when you look at it that way, outside of the players.
Did you appreciate the feelings that you got from guys?
Yeah, it's always, I think everybody in this room would say the same thing. It's always good to feel wanted and, to be accepted. I think you see that from a little kid till now. Everybody wants the same thing.
All right, we're going to go over here to the left.
Brooks, I got two quick ones for you. If the PGA, in your opinion, do you think the PGA should open the door to more players?
I'm 2 days back into this. I'm not trying to get into the politics of it all. I'm just happy that I have this opportunity, and I need to take advantage of it. And that's all I'm really focused on, and going back and playing golf.
Do you think can the PGA and LIV battle be fixed or settled, do you think, in your opinion?
I have no clue. I've not been a part of the conversations on either side, so it's out of my hands, and my job is to go play golf and tee it up on Thursday.
Thanks.
All right, you're going to go to Cameron and then Paolo. Cameron?
Couple for you, Brooks. As part of the returning member program, there were a couple other players who were kind of looped in with that. I'm curious if anybody on LIV has reached out to you about your decision into the process and why you decided to come back and maybe try to pick your brain a little bit.
Nobody's picked my brain. I've got a few text messages from guys that are still on LIV. They reaching out, and I think they understood the situation for what we were going through with my family, and they whether the wives have communication there. So I think everybody fully understands the situation that we were in, maybe more than everybody else. I don't know how much has been actually publicized, but so yeah, they understood that, and they just wished me the best, and to always do what's best for you.
And you mentioned that Tiger was the first person you called when you got your release. Why Tiger? And if you don't mind sharing, what was a little bit of that conversation like?
Yeah, called him. I've always had a good relationship with Tiger, and I felt like that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to, once I had the opportunity to, I guess, get reinstated on PGA Tour, it was exciting and kind of really didn't know what to do. And that was the first person that kind of came to mind. I didn't know Brian. I didn't have a relationship with him, obviously, just because he's pretty new. And Jay was going to be the next call, but I felt like Tiger was somebody that I've relied on in the past for questions and answers and how to deal with things, and I felt like that was maybe the most comfortable call for me.
Paolo?
Just a couple. You obviously mentioned Tiger, you spoke to him. Were there any other people you spoke with throughout the process that kind of helped shape the decision or influence the decision in any way?
As far as just my family and my team. I'm very, very close with everybody on my team, and I value their opinion and what they have to say. And everybody pretty much said the same thing. You got to do what's best for you and your family.
And you mentioned earlier you feel like you've grown a lot last few years. What are some ways in which you, I guess, would indicate that that's been the case for yourself?
Yeah, having a 2.5-year-old make you grow up pretty quick. Yeah, it's so much fun. I guess being a dad, being a father has made me grow as a person. Definitely try to give him the best example, best way to live, and that's what I'm trying to do. I think as everybody in this room goes through phases in life, and that's kind of the phase I'm in now, is trying to make sure I set a good example for him and do what's best for my family.
Back to Doug.
A couple quick things, Brooke. When you came in yesterday, do you recall the very first person you saw, player, whether it was parking lot, locker room, putting green, whatever? The first guy you ran into that you recognized?
It's kind of a whirlwind, to be honest with you. First player I saw. I don't know. I can't. Honestly, it was, how sometimes, I know we all get in this thing, but it was all a bit of chaos and everything, and sometimes you just kind of go into a blur. I was more excited just to go hit putts and just feel like I'm back in some type of normalcy, or that's where I'm most comfortable, right? So to be able to do that was nice, but I mean, maybe it might have been Rosie.
Okay.
Rosie was the first person I saw, but I saw Rosie a couple weeks ago, so.
Doesn't really count. Secondly, have you and the tour decided on on the charitable donation?
No, there's still some conversations that need to be had with the tour and myself, and figure out what the parameters are on that. And then once those are figured out, we'll be doing it.
And then lastly, your record in the majors the last couple of years has not been all that great, and it made me wonder.
Thanks for pointing it out.
Well, it's right there in black and white, buddy.
Yeah, I know. Don't I know it?
You're the one that shoots it. Just made me wonder, though, how much. I mean, have you been able to prepare properly? Has the LIV schedule, do you think, affected your preparations going into majors?
It doesn't matter preparation if you don't play well those weeks. It's tough to, number one, make a cut in a major, and then to win one is extremely difficult. Everything's kind of got to go your way. Bounces have to be right. You got to have some luck. And if you're just not playing, I just didn't play good last year. I don't think, even in maybe the end of 24, just wasn't playing that great. So it's tough to. I'm not going to put an excuse on anything else other than I'm the one holding the club. I'm the one that's got to execute everything, and I just didn't do a good enough job, point blank.
All right, we're going to start making final round, but we're going to go to Kirk first.
What's your expectation for how you'll be received by the fans when you tee it off on Thursday?
Maybe that's what. Maybe I'm a little nervous about that as well, just to see how. I guess how the fans respond to it. I hope that they're excited. I hope that they're happy that I'm out here, and it's kind of hopefully echoes what at least the conversations I've had with players, that they're excited that I'm back and happy to see me play.
And is there anything in particular you'll miss about LIV, and what did you miss the most about the PGA Tour?
I think maybe just being around the guys, right? Because everybody's not around each other all the time. So I think sometimes, we're all one big traveling circus, right? That's kind of what it is. It's fun, and I'm going to miss some of those guys, seeing those guys pretty much week to week out there, and the relationships I've built with those guys and not seeing them all the time. That'll be quite different, but at the same time, there's a lot of people out here that I haven't seen in 4 years, and I haven't got to be around them as much, so I'm excited for that as well.
Back to Dan.
When you decided not to play LIV for 2026, did you have any inclination that you would be welcomed back so quickly?
I did not know. I just wanted to. I knew that I wanted to come out and see how things would fall. I did not know that I was going to be coming back this quickly. Obviously, the decisions that Brian and everybody made I'm super grateful for them. I'm happy that it was this quick, but I was prepared for whatever they were going to ask or they were going to tell me.
And then since you went, Scotty has emerged as this world beater, Rory's gotten equal with you with 5 majors. Knowing how competitive you are, is there part of you that's excited to face off against those guys more than just a couple times a year?
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. Obviously, Scotty's been dominant, I guess is probably the right word. Yeah, Rory's got 5 now. I don't think anybody's shocked by this. If you've watched golf over the last few years, how well those guys are playing, and I'm excited to battle with them. I think that'll be really fun. I think just the competitive side of me, obviously, you obviously want to do a little bit better, but I mean that's going to be very tough to do better than Scotty right now. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I want to play with those guys and see where I'm at and how I can get better, right? That's the whole goal every day, trying to, practice to being out here is just get a little bit better, and I'm excited about that.
All right, we're going to finish up with Bob and then Logan. Bob?
When it was first announced a couple weeks ago you're coming back, I think you might have told Doug that you might have to have some tough conversations with some guys who might not be as gracious. I don't know if any of that has occurred yet, but do you think that some of that might be subsided by the fact that, they've created this thing where they're going to actually add to the fields that you're playing in? I don't know how much you've looked into that, but they're actually adding guys because of you. And have any of those conversations taken place, or are you still concerned about it?
Yeah. Did you say, am I concerned about it?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to all those conversations, right? Not everybody's going to have the same opinion. That's the exciting part about this, right? There's going to be some guys that are happy to see me back and some guys that won't, and I understand that. But like I said, that'll be the fun part of having those conversations. Some of them might be tougher than others, but at the same time, it's the opportunity I was given. And I think anybody that I guess is in my shoes that has the opportunity to come back and the position that I was in, I was going to take it. I wasn't just going to not play. If they gave me an opportunity to play, I wanted to play.
Do you know what you're planning to do schedule-wise beyond next week? Have you decided anything affirmative yet?
Yeah, so obviously not in a lot of the elevated events, signature events, so that will be interesting the way the year's kind of planned. I've got this week waste management, cognizant. That's what I know of right now, and then try to play as much as I can, I guess, before leading up to Augusta.
You're in the Players, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, assuming we would see you there too.
Yeah, that would be a good assumption. Yeah.
All right, final question with Logan.
Hey, Brooks, welcome back. Do you do anything unique pre-round in your warm-ups or anything that you do every tournament that's just consistent to you?
Yeah, I mean, my whole routine's pretty consistent, I think. Usually go to the gym in the morning and then come out here, get stretched out, go hit a few putts, go hit some balls, go chip a little bit, go back and putt, and go right back to the tee.
But nothing.
Try to keep it very simple, yeah.
Nothing unique to like just you versus maybe other guys.
No, I bet there's every player has their own routine and kind of what gets the best out of them. And I think I've been playing golf a long time, so it's a lot of trial and error. But it's fun, Sometimes you feel like you need a little bit more time on the range or a little bit more time on the putting green, so things might shift a little bit. But pretty much it's always the same.
All right, Brooks, thanks so much for your time and best of luck this week.
Thanks.